Welcome back to Ozarks Tonight. Well, former Springfield City Councilwoman Kristi is joining us in the studio today. And Kristi, you've already launched a new podcast called Real Talk with Kristi, and we're going to dive into that today. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. Your first two episodes are live. So what was the inspiration for this podcast, and what are you going to be discussing on the pod?
Yeah, well, as you know, in Springfield, I was in the media a lot, and and in politics. And so, I've always enjoyed the political arena, and like we were talking earlier, it's a lot better when you're not the subject in the political arena. But and I always had a fascination with how Trump seemed to me, I am conservative, how he's brought other people kind of into our party and had become involved in politics. And I thought that had a lot to do with him being in pop culture. And so I've always been fascinated how pop culture interacted with politics and how they affected each other. And so, I think sometimes conservatives get labeled by society as religious zealots and these right-wing crazy people. And, I just want people to know, their moms or people that are, musicians, just all kinds of walks of life, business people, just everyday people that are conservatives. We're not, a bunch of crazy people running around, with guns in the air.
Right.
So that was the reason that I was interested in doing a podcast. But also, I've been on the radio as a volunteer, as a commentator. I guess it's been since I was on city council, so probably 3 or 4 years. I've been filling in for Nick Reed and a guest of his every Thursday morning. So for a long time. And then I had a lot of people in the community say, you really should start your own show. And I thought, well, is that something I can make money at? So that was appealing too. And then, either I had the idea or someone came to me and said, you should start a podcast because it's like being on the radio. I didn't know a lot about it, and it kind of explained to me how to do it. But then also, it's just a format that I could use and do it, something I can control, that I could record on my own and have input. And it's kind of like what I do now on the radio. It's lighthearted, conservative. We talk about a lot of pop culture. I go to a lot of concerts and travel a lot. And then also about politics. So it's a local, state, and national politics. And I interview a guest each week. And it's a weekly podcast. So we just started, and it's Real Talk with Kristi is the name. So we have a website, and we just launched on iTunes today. And then we're on Spotify, and I'm learning all of the lingo with the podcast. So we're up on all of those. And then social media, we're trying to change and do that kind of thing. So
you spent some years on the Springfield City Council, and you also made a run for the mayor's seat here in Springfield as well. Just kind of talk about some of the things you learned in those few years in politics that you're going to bring into the show. You said it's nice to be able to be from the outside looking into what's going on. What were some big things you learned in those years?
Well, I mean, it's interesting you asked me that because I always thought when I was going through it, obviously I probably was in the media a lot more than the average city council person. And, I still am very outspoken, and I have, I'm conservative, so that's a little different when you're in a city in terms of ideology. But I never really went along with the crowd. I mean, I tried to get along with everybody, but I always thought that we should be, an independent voice, and that's why we were elected, because people want, differing viewpoints. And my thing was, I always wanted to solve problems. And so, that was an interesting experience. And what I learned from it is that when I was going through it, it wasn't fun just because I was under the spotlight and kind of went through a public trial and that kind of thing, and as a volunteer. But I probably wouldn't be talking to you right now if I wouldn't have gone through that.
Now, your time in on Springfield City Council, didn't change your political viewpoint, but did it change how you thought politics worked on that level?
Yeah. I thought that you become elected and then you get there and you solve problems and then you do what you said you were going to do when you're running for office. And that's totally different from what it is. I mean, you have different pressures. You obviously need money when you run for office. And so there were times that there were votes that I thought somebody had given me money, but if I vote a certain way, it's going to conflict with what they want. And finally, I just, in the beginning even, I just said, I have to vote the way that my conscience is telling me to vote, the constituents want me to. And I made a lot of people mad. I made some donors mad, but I had to make the right decision because ultimately I had to live with myself. And so, people always said, well, you just stir up so much controversy and but I really had to vote the way I believed in, and so that was very important to me. And so, but yeah, it was definitely different in terms of that, in terms of the your voting and the pressures on you financially. But also, I thought that people were just going to naturally welcome me, the other council people, and I'm not sure what really how it got started. I mean, I think the mayor at the time. Him and I just didn't see eye to eye, and it kind of started from there. But everything's a learning experience. So it was very different. I found that a lot of times that in different organizations and city council, there's kind of a group think that everybody was expected to think alike and vote alike, and that just wasn't me. I just wanted to be independent and be able to vote the way I wanted to, and because I felt like I was elected by the people. I wasn't elected by that body up there. So I really wanted to be able to vote how I thought the constituents wanted me to vote. So, but it was definitely different than what I thought it was going to be.
Definitely. Well, your podcast is called Real Talk with Kristi, and I feel like we've had some real talk since you've been on today. I want to thank you again for coming in, and hopefully everybody can tune in and check out the podcast. Yeah,
and I do have a website. It's realtalkwithkristi.com, and they can go on there if they don't want to try to figure out how to get the podcast, and they can watch it on my website too.
All right, very good. Kristi, thanks for coming in.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. More Ozarks Tonight will be up right after this.